Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, I wanted to bring you guys a quick video today. Today is September 14th, 2023, an exciting day because tomorrow is opening day of deer season here in Missouri. Now, I know for a lot of people, when they think of deer season, they think of cold weather and they think of being out in the snow and all of that. And that's true normally for rifle season. But for archery season here in Missouri runs from September 15th until January 15th, with the exception of a 10-day period during rifle hunting season. So we have a long season here for archery. And for me, that's exciting because I love getting out with my crossbow. And I usually actually try to take most of my deer during archery season. I think one thing we don't talk about a lot as homesteaders is the importance of hunting. If you have a lot of land and you live in an area with a very healthy population of deer, I absolutely think you should be getting out and doing your part to not only help control that population, but to also provide some good, healthy meat for your family. You can raise a lot of meat, and as you know, we raise 100% of the meat that we consume. We raise cattle, we raise chickens, we raise quail, rabbits, ducks, geese. We raise a lot of different animals for meat, but nothing compares to the price of venison. Especially here in Missouri, when you have anything actually over 5 acres of land, you can get free landowner hunting permits. And because of that, you can hunt absolutely free on your own land. So the cost of getting deer for us here in Missouri is the cost of either one bolt in my crossbow or maybe a bullet if I'm hunting during rifle season. So the cost is very negligible. So today I thought I'd take you along as we head out. First, I'm going to check on my hunting blind. And then I'm going to go check out my tree stand, and we're going to make sure both of those are all ready to go. I had some issues with my blind last week I'll talk to you about when we get over there, but I think I've got everything settled as far as that goes. But let's hop on the ATV and we will ride out first to my hunting blind and then to my tree stand. Well, this is my deer blind. This I put up a few years ago now. I built the platform and then I bought the blind that's on top. Let's take a closer look at it. So this is the blind. It is about 7 feet wide. It's a 6-sided blind so that you can look through windows and open windows all the way around it. Some of the windows are horizontal like this, and some of the windows are vertical. I'll show you that when we go inside of it. I bought this, again, I think 2 seasons ago from Menards. I had ordered it online and then picked it up and brought it home and assembled it. It's made by a company called Booner Blinds. And I've been real happy with it. The only thing that I had to really do with it so far this year is I did come out and caulk around the edges because I did realize quite a bit of rain was kind of leaking in from around the bottom, but I probably should have done that right from the beginning. Now, I told you I had some issues with it. So last week one day I came out here thinking, gee, I'll just come out and make sure everything's okay before deer season. And when I came out, I wasn't even thinking. I opened the door real fast, and just a huge swarm of wasps came out from inside of it. I don't know why in my mind I never even thought about wasps making nests in here over the summer, but I actually had my chair in there, and there was a nest right on the back of the chair, like maybe less than a foot inside the door. And when I opened that door, they just came, probably 30 of them came out. I actually almost fell off the ladder, lost my hat because I must have been swatting at them. I don't even remember swatting at them, but I was swatting with them and my hat ended up inside. I had about 20 wasps probably on me. luckily I only got stung one time, so that was pretty amazing. So since then, I came out here. First, I came out with some wasp spray, and then I actually came out with a bug bomb and sprayed that inside. I don't really like to do that, but after I looked closer, after I killed that one nest, there was actually several wasp nests inside of there, and then I noticed kind of down in some of the cracks, there were actually yellow jacket nests in those cracks, and there's really no way for me to spray those. So I lit off a bug bomb, and I think that's taking care of the situation. So I'll know in future years to just plan on coming out and doing that a couple weeks before deer season. So let me grab the camera. I'll take you guys inside of here, kind of show you what my setup is inside of there, and then we'll just make sure everything's in order, because again, tomorrow is the first day of deer season. Now, I don't know if I'll actually get to hunt this first weekend. I'm hoping I will. But it's kind of a big weekend for us here on the homestead, because our youngest daughter, Samantha, has asked to be baptized this weekend. So praise the Lord for that. We'll be baptizing her this weekend at a creek near our house. My pastor and I will be the ones actually in the water baptizing her. That is always an exciting time. That makes both of our daughters now, who are baptized and have asked to be baptized, and have chosen to follow Jesus as their Lord and Savior. So praise the Lord for that. All right, let me grab the camera and we will get up here and take a look inside. One thing we need to take along up with us when we go up into the stand, I have these old rugs. There's old rugs that have pretty much worn out from everything else, but I like to put them up inside of the blind. That way when I'm moving around in there, there's less noise on the wood. These rugs keep things nice and quiet up there. So we'll take those along with us. I had them hanging out here because, like I said, when rain was kind of getting under there, these were getting wet and then soaking the wood underneath. So I need to cut these out so that they would dry out over the last few days. So let's climb up and we'll get inside. All right, well, it's pretty hard to record in here because, for one thing, it's dark and it's pretty tight quarters in here. So again, it's about 7 feet from side to side, something like that if I remember correctly. And it's a little over 6 feet tall, or just about 6 feet tall in the middle. So it's big enough for me. I'm 5'10", so it's tall enough for me to stand in. And this is made out of a nice hard plastic. It's all bolted together and then screwed to this base. So even with big winds, this thing hasn't budged, which has been great. Now, I did tell you that there's different types of windows in here. Let me show you that really quickly. And they just have little clips here. So these can open up, and then you can watch for deer out these and shoot right through these. And then here's an example of the vertical windows. So these open up like that. And there's two on the panels that have those. It has two, so you can open those and shoot through those as well. I have the tinted windows on these. I like that a little bit better. But they do, I think, come with clear windows as well. I don't remember all the options, but it has worked out really well for me because you can see all the way around. You can shoot from any side of this. I have this on this side over here is where our hayfield is, so I got a good view of our hayfield. And then on the side over here is kind of facing a wooded area and kind of a hilly wooded area over here. So I've got good views of several different areas from here. And I've actually shot, I think, 5 or 6 deer out of this blind already. So let me just show you real quickly. I showed you that I keep those rugs in here. I need to straighten those out yet before tomorrow. The only other things that I keep in here all the time are, I have a chair. See if I can lift it up so you guys can see it. It's a swivel chair, so I can put this in the middle and be able to swivel around and see all the way around. And then the other thing that I keep in here is my bipod. And this is just an extendable bipod. And then I can use that to shoot out any of the windows. So those are the things that I keep in here all the time. When I come up here, I'll bring a pair of binoculars. Obviously, I'll bring whatever weapon that I'm using at the time, either my rifle or my crossbow, and whatever else I want for the day. But For the most part, this has worked out really, really well. I like it because it keeps you out of the wind. It keeps you out of the, colder weather in the winter. It really blocks the wind and makes you, and it really helps block your scent and things like that, especially during crossbow season where you're waiting for the deer to get up closer. So I think it looks like setting off that bug bomb in here has worked. So I'm going to get things kind of straightened back out, put the rugs down and all of that, and then we'll head over to my tree stand to see how that is looking as well. Well, the blind is all set. I got everything arranged in there so that tomorrow or whenever I get a chance to come out, everything will be ready to go. Now, I'm by no means a master hunter of any sort, but I do get several deer every year. Here in Missouri, we can get quite a few deer, so I'm thankful for that. And I just have a good time doing it. So let's get back on the ATV and let's head over to my tree stand to make sure that that's all in good shape as well. All right, here's my tree stand behind me. This is an 18-foot tree stand. I've got it on a nice big tree here. This is kind of on the other side of our hayfield. So behind the tree stand here is a pasture area where we have our cattle. They're actually in that pasture right now. And then over here, kind of behind the camera where the tree stand is facing, is out into our hayfield. I'm going to climb up there and I'll show you the view from up top. There's not a whole lot to get ready on this tree stand other than just making sure that the ratchet straps and all of that are tight. I'll check those quick on my way up, make sure everything feels good once I'm up there, and then I'll show you guys the view from up top. So here is the view from up here. You can see looking out into our hayfield. We got a nice open area here. And we get a lot of deer that cross over here to go from the wooded area over there to the pasture area over here where we have the cattle. I don't know if you can see some of the cows down there right now or not, but that's where we have our herd of cows and our bull right now. But they can't get out into the hayfield, so there's no risk of me accidentally shooting them. So the tree stand seems nice and sturdy up here. Everything's in good shape. There is a shooting rail on this tree stand that folds up. I like to leave that down. Not only does it give more security so you can't fall out as easily, but it's a good, I like having a gun rest as well. Now, when I come up here to hunt, I do wear a harness that attaches to the tree. So if at any time either I slipped off the tree stand or the tree stand started to fall or something like that, I would be protected. I'm not wearing it right now, just coming up here to check it. But if I had my firearm with me, I definitely would be wearing a harness. All right, I'm going to get down and then we're going to go back to where I have my crossbow. I already have it sighted in, but I'm going to take just a couple practice shots. It's been a while since I've shot with it. So let's go take a couple practice shots with that. And then I think we're going to be all set for deer season starting tomorrow. All right, I'm back to my shooting area. I've got a target set up at 20 yards, so about 60 feet. This is my crossbow. This is a center point crossbow. It's called the Center Point Patriot 415, which means it shoots at about 415 feet per second. So it's pretty powerful. I've been using this for, I think, 3 or 4 years, and I've been really happy with it. Now, this crossbow is supposed to be accurate out to about 60 yards. I try not to shoot more than about 40 or 50 yards during crossbow season. I find that's where I'm the most accurate. I certainly don't want to injure any deer and have them run away, so I try to stay in a zone where I know that I'm comfortable so that I can take a good shot and the animal won't suffer. So I'm gonna get this loaded. If you're not familiar with how to load a crossbow, let me show you that real quick, and then we'll take a couple test shots. There's a few ways to cock a crossbow. You can either get a wind, like a crank device that will actually pull the string back for you that way. If it's a really powerful crossbow, you may need that. I like to use just a string cocker like this. And the way that this works is you put your foot on the crossbow down here. You've got a notch back here at the back of the crossbow. These go onto the string here. And then you pull these two handles and you wait until you hear it click, and that means that it's ready to load your bolt. There you go. Now it's cocked. So here are the bolts that I like to use. The ones that I like to use for hunting are called Headhunter. They're made by Barnett. And when you load them, you always load the odd color down, slide that in, and then slide that back. Now I use mechanical broadheads, which are expanding broadheads, which means when they hit the deer, they open up and they make a bigger wound, which kills the deer faster. These are practice versions of those. That's what I'm going to be shooting with here today. So let's go ahead and take our first shot. Again, for sighting in, my target is at 20 yards. That's what they recommend for the scope that I have. Well, they weren't perfect shots, but pretty darn close. I think it's pretty well sighted in. Those definitely would have been kill shots, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, I really do feel like a lot of homesteaders kind of overlook this important way to get free food for your family. I hope that if you have enough land to get out and hunt, that it's something that you do as well. Let me know in the comments. Are you guys hunting this year? Are you going to get out? And when does the season start in your area? I know here I feel blessed that we have a nice long season. I don't necessarily enjoy hunting when it's still really warm out like it is right now, but in just a couple weeks when it starts to cool down, it's going to be absolutely beautiful. And to be honest, I like hunting during this time of year better than I like hunting in the dead of winter. You guys, I know this is a little bit different type of video for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you like seeing more of just the day-to-day, what's going on around the homestead. Not always projects, but this is daily life here on a homestead when you're trying to provide as much food as you can for your family. If you're enjoying these types of videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Give this video a thumbs up if you would. And as always, remember that the absolute best way that you can help us here is just to share our videos on your social media. Until next time, thank you so much for stopping by our homestead. Take care, and God bless.